I have to say that the study of gender is one of my favorite subjects. I could study it and learn about it and talk about it and discuss it with people on and on and on. And what I found is generally people are a little bit confused, maybe a lot confused. Um, when I want to kind of break it down to the most basic elements, it really is first understanding nature versus nurture. Now, I noticed that people like to move really quickly in their understanding, and they like to go right to level 3, and they hadn't really spent time with level 1. This being a 100 level class is a prime opportunity for really digging into the basics of our understanding, and then be able to formulate some new conclusions and theories and concepts along the way. Sometimes it's repetitive for some of us, which is sometimes a good thing. Below this video is a link to there's a series of videos on sociologyonline.com called 2 for 3. It's the first and only sociology video series that was made for your phone in the vertical format, which I've all but abandoned. I tried that. It was okay. I liked it for what it was. But it was kind of topics where me and another sociology professor had 3 minutes to talk about topics, and we did talk about nature versus nurture. And if you look at what she said versus what I said, I'm still fundamentally a person who, because I majored in sociology, I minored in psychology, that there's this, to me, the two are just really ingrained. I understand biology as well. I loved biology as a student. I actually took biology as an elective, believe it or not. It kicked my butt. But when we talk about gender, especially the great range of gender labels that there are right now, of which I took a look at recently to kind of say, get my head around some of the terms and concepts and what they encompass. It really kind of brought me back to that Kinsey Scale of sexual orientation, if you're familiar with that. And why it took me back to that is I think that everything is a gray area in human beings. Everything is a combination of biology and external forces combined. Some people, the biology is stronger. Sometimes we resist the biology. Sometimes it's not as strong. Sometimes the social expectation of our gender feels more comfortable for us. Maybe we feel comfortable doing something that would be considered masculine or feminine. And that's the thing about those two words that I could really talk about as well. Now we know language is socially constructed, as are the ideas of what is masculine and what is feminine. And you could even hear people say they want to tap into their feminine side. And then when we tap into the feminine side, we're thinking about nurturing and those kind of things. That means that what it's saying is like men, people who identify as men, are not naturally compassionate and nurturing. That's a female quality, a woman quality, right? It's those kind of things that I think are really destructive to society. When I like to say human beings come in a range of ways of being, a range of emotions, what some people are warmer towards other people, regardless of their gender. So I think as we respect people's decision in terms of how they feel about themselves, and if they've rejected the gender binary, we can still interact with them as a human being without the expectation that this or that is going to come along for the ride. So that's where it gets really complex, because we can really break down why people are the way they are, but we'll never have a definitive reason. And we'd have to ask everybody, and some people don't even know why they are who they are and what draws them towards something. It's really interesting to see children develop their sense of gender. I have an 8-year-old niece, and she is pink, 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 tutus, princesses, ballerinas. And then her 5-year-old sister loves the color green, likes turtles, is not into all that. So these things, they're living in the same environment. They're exposed to the same external stimuli, but they're gravitating towards different things. And then the way that we perceive that, we perceive, the 8-year-old who's going towards the pink and the tutus as very feminine. And I was like, you can't even apply feminine and masculine to children. Like, those are, to me, that's like really a kind of adult terms. But so you see how we have to learn to be light in our conversations and just really explore it without getting caught up in the confusion, because it can be very confusing. So that's my thoughts on the topic. And I actually, every few years, they give me sociology 113. I believe it's 113. And it is gender and society. And I will be teaching that online in the fall. And we can take a deep dive into this subject matter. I'm going to show you the book that we use. So it's interesting because I guess the study of gender could be really sociology based, but also this one is really focused. I know it's backwards, but it's called Gender Lives, Communication, Gender, and Culture. Because I believe the language that we use, even using the words like masculine and feminine, are what is shaping these gender expectations. So if we shift the language, then we can shift the expectation and we can open up a broader range of gender expressions. And again, I wanted to put that out there because I think it's something to really ponder and look at from a sociological standpoint, and a personal one as well.